Hi, the SI Meteorologist. Paul Dorian here on Monday, September 9th. A very pleasant morning here in the Mid-Atlantic region. Comfortable temperatures and humidity levels today thanks to the passage of a cool frontal system on Sunday. That front came through mainly on the dry side. There were some patchy clouds, especially during the middle part of the afternoon on Sunday. But that front is now to our south and east. Comfortable conditions today. However, it looks like all that will change as this high pressure system that's sitting on top of the region today will shift off the east coast by tomorrow, and that will open the door for some very warm and humid conditions to return to the Mid-Atlantic region for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. The entire month of August actually did not produce a single 90-degree day in Philadelphia, and it looks like there's a shot at 90 degrees both tomorrow and on Wednesday. The good news, however, is another strong cool front is headed our way. It looks like it'll come through on Thursday, perhaps with some strong thunderstorms. Then much cooler air will follow for Friday and Saturday and into Sunday as well. In fact, that looks like the coolest air yet so far this season, with high temperatures perhaps struggling to reach 70 degrees in many mid-Atlantic locations on Saturday. Well, before we get to the local weather situation, let's talk about the tropics. We have not had a single hurricane yet this season. It's getting very late in the season for the first hurricane. In fact, if we go a couple of more days, it'll be almost a record-breaking type of season, with the latest hurricane not occurring until at the earliest, the middle part of September. We do have a shot now over the next 48 hours or so. This is way off in the eastern Atlantic. Tropical storm Humberto formed overnight. It's got sustained winds at 40 miles per hour. Quite healthy looking here, with quite a bit of thunderstorm activity right at its core. It's just sitting off the western African coast, and it has a chance to become a hurricane over the next 24 to 48 hours or so. Again, there's kind of a battle going on now. If it does not reach hurricane status by Thursday, then this year will go down as the latest start to a tropical season in the Atlantic Basin without a hurricane in the modern era, in the satellite era, which dates all the way back to the mid-1960s. So we'll follow Humberto. It's got a 50-50 shot at becoming a hurricane over the next couple of days. If it does, it will be the first actual hurricane of the 2013 tropical season. Well, let's get back to the U.S. picture. Here's the current surface map. High pressure sitting right on top of the region. This is yet another in a series of Canadian-born high-pressure systems that travel south and east from the western part of Canada into the northeastern part of the country, producing very comfortable conditions here today. That high, however, will shift off the northeast coast by tomorrow. This cool front that moved all the way down south and east of the Mid-Atlantic region will turn around and come back north tomorrow as a warm front. There will be quite a few clouds associated with that warm frontal passage in the morning on Tuesday. By afternoon, it'll be a big difference in air mass here in the Mid-Atlantic region. Very warm and humid. Again, perhaps touching 90 degrees in some Mid-Atlantic locations from D.C. up to Philadelphia. Mid-80s in New York City tomorrow afternoon. Much more humid as well. So a very nice start to the work week on Monday today, but much more humid and warmer on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Ultimately, however, another strong cool front will drop to the south and east from western Canada, passing through the Mid-Atlantic region on Thursday, perhaps with strong thunderstorms, ushering much cooler air for Friday and Saturday. Well, one way to take a look at what kind of changes are coming to the Mid-Atlantic region is to take a look at the upper level pattern. This is the current 500 millibar map, way up in the atmosphere, about 18,000 feet or so. Strong high pressure sitting right over the middle part of the country. But notice here in the Mid-Atlantic, the northeastern part of the country, still some west to northwest flow in the upper part of the atmosphere. That allowed the cool frontal system to pass through on Sunday and is allowing for a very nice, comfortable start to the week here on Monday. But now let's take a look 48 hours from now to see what changes evolve in the upper part of the atmosphere. Well, here's in fact the forecast map from last night's Zero-Z GFS model run for the 500 millibar level for Wednesday morning. Notice the big difference here in the upper part of the atmosphere. This part of the country, southwest winds developing in the northeastern part of the country. Very warm and humid conditions return for Tuesday afternoon, continuing on Wednesday and Thursday. But then Here's that next cool front, the upper level trough associated with that next cool front. That passes through on Thursday, paving the way for much cooler air for Friday and Saturday here in the northeastern part of the country. Well, let's take a look at some surface forecast maps from last night's Zero-Z GFS model run. This is for this evening. High pressure shifting off the east coast by later today. Already seeing a southwesterly flow at the surface develop. That will act as a heat machine over the next few days, pumping in hot and humid air into the mid-Atlantic region by Tuesday afternoon, continuing Wednesday and Thursday. Meanwhile, out over the southern Rockies, where they've experienced a very hot pattern over the last several days, much cooler air moving in over the next 12 to 24 hours or so. Lots of showers and thunderstorms with that push of cooler air. Denver tomorrow and really for the rest of the week should be in the much more comfortable low 70s, following about 80 degrees for highs today, and that follows well up in the 90s for the weekend and last week. So big changes in the southern Rockies. Kind of forecast of changes coming to the mid-Atlantic region later in the week, following a hot and humid period from Tuesday afternoon into Thursday. Here's the forecast map for tomorrow evening, Tuesday evening. Still southwesterly flow of air as that high pressure stays off the east coast by tomorrow afternoon. Cool frontal system starting to show up here better and better on the GFS forecast map by Tuesday evening, cutting across the northern plains, ushering in much cooler air into the southern Rockies by tomorrow. Highs much closer to 70 degrees in Denver compared to the mid-90s that they experienced several days last week. Now by Wednesday evening, cool frontal system now crossing the Great Lakes. Some shower and thunderstorm activity here in the mid-Atlantic region. Certainly the chance will increase Wednesday afternoon and evening, a chance for some showers and thunderstorms. High temperatures at or above 90 degrees in many mid-Atlantic locations on Wednesday, especially from D.C. up to Philadelphia. Again, August did not generate a single 90-degree day in Philadelphia, but there's a chance not only tomorrow afternoon but Wednesday as well. But cooler air is starting to head our way, so that heat up for the middle part of the week will not last too long. In fact, let's now jump ahead to Thursday evening's forecast map. And here's the forecast map for Thursday evening. Strong cool frontal system approaching the east coast with yet another Canadian-born high-pressure system on its heels, situated Thursday evening over the western part of the Great Lakes. This cool frontal system can have some strong storms associated with it on Thursday. It'll be a little bit cooler on Thursday, still very warm and humid, perhaps mid to upper 80s, thanks to the lots of clouds and the likely showers and thunderstorms compared to the 90-degree mark that we'll likely see on Wednesday and perhaps even tomorrow afternoon as well. But this cool front comes on through on Thursday. It sweeps off the East Coast. Much cooler air moves back into the region for Friday and Saturday, perhaps the coolest air yet, with temperatures dropping to the 40s in many mid-Atlantic locations Friday night and Saturday night. And Saturday's highs could actually struggle to reach 70 degrees in places like Philadelphia on Saturday as this next Canadian-born high-pressure system moves into the mid-Atlantic region. Well, that's it for now. A lot of weather going on this week with comfortable beginning, very warm and humid Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then much cooler for Friday and Saturday. That's it for now. For the SIWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.